It is really intimidating to follow Rosa DeLauro, I just want to say. She's amazing, amazing. It's great to see everybody here tonight. It's wonderful to see so many old friends and to be back here. It really is just an incredible room, an incredible passion, an incredible power of all of these advocates. This is, what I'm about to share is a true story I was reminded of when I saw Rosa. I started Jumpstart my senior year in college. It was out of my college dorm room at Yale. We had 15 college students serving as Jumpstart Corps members, and we called up the then Congresswoman, who was kind of newly elected at the time, Rosa DeLauro in New Haven, Connecticut. Her office, surprising to all of us, responded, and she came to the first graduation ceremony we ever had for these 15 college students, none of whom could probably even vote for her, and these 15 preschooler students, just because she cared so much. And it was just amazing to see this entire movement is really standing on the shoulders of giants. And I will just say, one of the things I don't think National Service gets enough credit for is the role it has played in inspiring innovation, ideas, and energy far beyond what happens in National Service. I remember when I first moved to Boston, I was teaching in a Head Start center, trying to get Jumpstart off the ground, and I would literally drive by the door of 11 Stilling Street, where Michael Brown and Alan Casey were working at the time, because their example for the entire city was so bright for all of us. I wanted to be just like that. I got to meet Dorothy Stoneman. I got to connect with these leaders who were actually living that core American value of equal opportunity for all, and we're only at our best when all of us are being successful and we're willing to actually do the work to make that happen. It's incredible to see. I've also drawn the conclusion from this event tonight that a significant number of you in the audience will end up in the U.S. Senate or the House of Representatives, because we seem to be the primary feeding ground for National Service. And I will say, in my own election, it's really funny, that video is from launching one of our canvases. I live in a district where I grew up. I'm a Democrat. There's 12,000 more registered Republicans than there are Democrats in that district. And it's actually the first time a Democrat ever won. One of the biggest things I talked about was how Democrats, Republicans, everyone can come together around this idea of service. And you really see that that's why people end up in politics. That's why people are military veterans, are national service folks. Those are the solution-oriented people who end up getting involved in politics. And I just want to say, I feel like I've gotten so much more than I've ever been able to contribute to this world in terms of how it's impacted my life. But I do think there is another frontier, a second front for national service that I've become fond of, which is what's happening on our state governments all across the country, right? And just to think about that, the idea of matching, for example, state education awards without getting a single bill through our gummed up Congress and Senate, right? We could have hundreds of millions of more dollars going to everyone who serves in national service. And remember, every single person who's serving in AmeriCorps, every single national service person is serving in a state. And states are spending billions of dollars that they could open up. A large part of the motivation for me for this idea was knocking doors during the campaign and meeting so many kids, 18, 19 years old, just out of high school, not sure what they wanted to do, often working in fast food, doing something dead tired when I knocked on their door at 5 o'clock in the afternoon from the day they'd been taking 1 or 2 classes in their community college. We know from the data they hardly ever persist in getting in community colleges, and they're trapped in these low-wage jobs. If you did just 1 year of service and got your $6,000 Ed Award with the $6,000 match from the state, that's 2 years of community college in almost every state across the country, right? That is that original vision of AmeriCorps of connecting responsibility and opportunity, and I think it's a winner on absolutely every level, and I'd love, love, love to challenge every single person here who works in their own state to go back to their state capital. I'm partial to Senator McCain. He's an incredible inspiration for what he did. You don't have to name them all the McCain Scholarship Award, although I think it would be a fitting honor if you wanted. But just think if we matched every single education award with state dollars, what that would do for AmeriCorps members all across the country. So, and I want to recognize At the back table, a group of folks from Arizona and the Conservation Corps and our commission here. It has been so powerful to see at the state level when you can talk about what AmeriCorps does on the ground floor. It makes such a difference. But I want to close with one of my favorite quotes from Senator McCain, and it's so powerful, especially if you contrast it with some of what other things we hear from some of our elected leaders who aren't honored here tonight. I'll just leave it at that. If you find faults with our country, make it a better one. Enlist in our armed forces. Become a teacher. Teach an illiterate adult how to read. Comfort the afflicted. Defend the rights of the oppressed. Our country will be better for it. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.